If you started out the gate with proper alternate picking and are struggling now with your sweep picking, congratulations, you started out with the guitar in the most perfect way. Now that you're solid with alternate picking, you want to now nail sweep picking, but it's just not clicking. And this makes sense because when you're right up against it, sweep picking is just a different approach to playing notes quickly. Don't worry, there's an easy shift that can happen that makes your sweep picking a lot easier, and I'll show you exactly what that shift is in this lesson. So now grab your axe and let's jump in. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are new to me, my name is Zach, and I'm here to help metal and rock guitarists solo better, understand the theory behind heavy music, and ultimately glorify God with their instruments. As we jump into today's episode, I want to give you a gift that'll help you be a super shred guitarist. It's my Shred Smarter blueprint, and it breaks down the 3 biggest mistakes that guitarists make when trying to shred fast. It helps correct technique traps that a lot of players fall into, and it shows you what to do instead, ultimately making you solo faster on your axe. It's totally free, so just hit the link for it in the description or go to zachsharguitar.com and download it right now. So as we tackle this idea of making sweep picking easier, we want to go back to basics a little bit, actually a lot of it, because sweep picking tends to be a much more advanced technique, but what we want to do is start back way in the beginning, back to the basics of strumming chords. So what we can do with this is just pick a chord. What I'm going to do, what I'd encourage you to do, is to just pick the A minor chord, because what we're going to do from there is transition it to an A minor sweep picking arpeggio. So we're going to pick the A minor chord, and I want you to do the same and just strum it downwards slowly. All right. You should be at that point where you know how to strum fluidly and in a relaxed fashion when you're using chords. And so what you want to do from here is do the same thing but strum up. This motion tends to be very similar, if not exactly the same, when it comes to our sweep picking and how we approach the technique with our picking hand. So what we're going to do here is take that same shape, that same A minor chord, and we're going to play it in a way where we play it start to finish, and we're going to double up on the A string and the high E string every time we change directions with the strum. So I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to let the A string ring out, and then I'm going to play every other string. And then when I come back up with an upstroke on the high E string, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to let the high E string ring out for a little bit, then carry my way through the rest of the chord. One more time, I'm going to try to crank up the speed a little bit. And as I'm doing this, there's a little bit more of an exaggeration with my picking hand as I lead the direction of the pick with the thickest part of the pick that is in my grasp here between my thumb and my index finger. So keep that in mind as it drags across the strings in each direction of your strumming. What we're going to do here is take pretty much the same approach with our open A minor chord and use it with an A minor arpeggio, which is basically the same thing, but we're going to be note for noting all the notes in the chord. It's just going to be a different execution of it. It's going to have more lead flair. And so to play that shape, play the 12th fret of the A string and then hammer onto fret 15 of that same string. And we're doing a downstroke there. And we're going to use straight up downstrokes until we hit the upper string, the high E string. And I'll tell you when we change everything to upstrokes. But for now, we're using downstrokes. So after we play those two notes, we're playing fret 12 of the A string and hammering on to fret 15 of that string. We're going to play fret 14 of the D and the G strings. And you can just bar those notes because it's not going to matter when it's up to speed. Or you can sort of roll it. You could sort of just play the D string, fret 14 of the D string with your ring finger, the tip of your ring finger, and then drop to the G string with the pad of the ring finger. Just like that. So what we're going to do from here is play fret 13 of the B string. So, and then fret 12 of the high E string. And again, that was all with a downward picking motion. We weren't necessarily plucking the strings. We were just sort of strumming or raking through the strings. Now what we're going to do from here is flip everything. We're going to back it up by playing fret 17 of the high E string with an upstroke, pulling off to fret 12 of the high E string, and then that is where everything else with the whole second half of this arpeggio is going to be played with an upward picking, strumming, or raking fashion, however you want to look at that. So what we're going to do is descend our way through it with the same notes. We're going to play fret 13 of the B string, fret 14 of the G and D strings. And again, if you want to do that whole rolling thing, it's the same thing but in reverse, where it'll look something like this. And then from there, we're going to finish it off with fret 15 of the A string. So it'll be like this, starting from the 17th fret of the high E string. And really, it's just the same idea here. It's just strumming, but instead of letting the notes ring out, or even playing it in a way where all the notes are played at once, you're letting each note have its place. So, put simply, sweep picking is pretty much the same as strumming, except your fretting fingers are not only moving, but moving fast. And so if you've started your guitar journey correctly, you would have pretty much started with proper alternate picking from the start, where you know when to pick down and when to pick up. And if there's a steady sequence of notes, like in this case, we've got some sextuplets here. Typically, if you were to alternate pick that, every other note would be a downstroke, and every other note in between those notes would be an upstroke. So instead of something really fluid like this, it'd be something more like this. So a way we can sort of shift our mindset with this is to view each direction of a sweep picking shape, like this one I just showed you, as a single note, or I guess really a cluster, but under the umbrella of a single note that is played at once. So really the whole ascending portion of the sweep shape can be viewed as a single downstroke, and then when descending, it could be viewed as the opposite, a single upstroke. So now you know sweep picking isn't just some mysterious, impossible technique. When you approach it like controlled strumming and then lock in those smooth, connected motions, it becomes way easier to play clean, fast, and in control. Again, if you like this lead guitar stuff, you will love my free Shred Smarter blueprint. It breaks down the 3 biggest mistakes guitarists make when trying to shred fast by showing you what to do instead so that way your technique is tighter, which will allow you to shred faster. The link for that is in the description, so check it out there, or you can grab it at ZachSharGuitar.com. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Zach with Zach Shar Guitar. Stick in, keep shredding, and God bless.